Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kenny. Listen, if you're a hunter, you're a shooter, you're a sportsman, you're somebody that just loves a beautiful gun, you may be an American patriot. Listen, we want you to hang around. Now don't go anywhere. I've got a special treat for you, or at least I consider it to be, so we want you to hang around. Now listen, I want to ask you, just to start off with, what does freedom mean to you? Now think about that for a moment. What does freedom mean to you? Listen, I've got to say this to you. Across this country, things are not like they used to be. Our freedoms are, I don't want to use the word slowly, but rapidly deteriorating. They're shrinking. They're shrinking. And I fear, and listen, I'm not a worrywart, as somebody would say, but I know what's up ahead. I know what's up ahead. We're going to wake up if this current administration is allowed to continue on. Listen, our Constitution was given for the people, by the people. Our Constitution that we know of today is slowly being, well, actually, in my opinion, I believe they're wanting to just tear it up and rip it up or even burn it and destroy it. And our freedoms are at stake. And what I meant to say a moment ago is, if we're not careful, we'll wake up some morning and the good old USA will be a thing of the past. I mean, our freedoms are being absolutely ripped apart, taken apart. Our governmental institutions are being weaponized against the people. Your privileges, your rights, your freedom are slowly being taken away. And in many cases, faster than you would even imagine or think. Can you imagine waking up to a dictatorship? Well, that's what's coming. That's what's coming. Can you imagine waking up to socialism? That's what's coming. That's what's coming. And listen, we American people, our rights were given to us by God. Our constitutional rights, I'm talking about, that we value so dearly, are at stake. And I've said this before, there's two things that we can do. We can pray as Christians, and we can vote as Christians. That's right, that's what we can do. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. I value freedom, and I know that you do as well. But it's time for us to stand up and say enough is enough is enough, and we have the say. I mean, we can speak and speak loud. If you're sick and tired of freedoms being taken away the way that I am, listen, freedom is never free. It's got to be fought for. And listen, we've got to stand up and fight. And I'm talking about fight like we've never before fought if we're going to win this battle. And I mean, listen, it's not just a freedom for you personally, it's for your kids and your grandkids. I don't want to just see all of this crumble, and that's what it's doing. Our freedoms are crumbling. So listen, it's time for us to be aware. Listen, if you're not aware of this, what I'm talking about, then I have no clue where you're living at. You're living in a dream world, in an illusional world, like many of these far left people that are trying to change the rules so much. They're living in an illusional world. I mean, way out there in space somewhere. It'll be all over before you know it, and we'll be living under a dictatorship if this continues on. Let's stand up, America. I love this country, and I don't want to see it go down the tubes, but it's going to take a lot of prayer, and a good old-fashioned vote. That's what it's going to take. So listen, I'm going to show you another beautiful gun. That's right. I'm going to show you another beautiful gun. Take a look at this one. Now, I've said in the past I'll bring to you some old guns and some new guns and some not so old guns. This one here is just happened to be maybe not so old. But let me tell you, it's a goodie. It's a goodie. I'm going to show it to you. It's a shotgun. Now, I'm going to give you a real good tour of this thing, but not as much as to what I'm going to really focus on is a good demonstration. Let me get around here. Look. Take a look at that beautiful long barrel. Now, what do you buy a shotgun for? I got to ask you this question. I tell you what you buy one for. You buy it because you want to use it. If you buy a shotgun and you're a hunter and you don't use it, why do you call yourself a hunter? It's a tool to use. It's a tool to use for your benefit. Now I'm going to show you the scars. This is an old Winchester. Yeah, it's an old Winchester. Look at that. It's a model 1400 MK2. MK2. Now the history of this gun is they started making these in 1968. They produced them from 1968 through 1972. But they sold these guns right up till the mid-90s. They really did. The MK2. Now take a look at it. It's a Winchester, but it really looks just like a Remington 1100. It has some very similarities to it that indicate and look like it. Now this is a semi-automatic. It's a 12 gauge. Now it's got a 28-inch modified barrel on it. Yes. And it's got a beautiful level top barrel bead there. And I'm going to tell you something. It's been used a lot. I don't know exactly what year it is, but take a look at these scars. Look here, look at this. Now let me turn this around and give you some more. Look at those scars on that gun. Now listen, if you have a gun or you know of someone that has one and it completely is polished, shiny, bright, brilliant color, and everything looks as if it's showroom fresh, most likely that gun is either a collector item or it's a gun that you've just laid aside primarily because it's not really up to par and it doesn't really suit you or doesn't get the job done, or you don't like the way that it performs. Now you can tell a gun that's being used, it's going to have some scars on it. I mean, it's like a car. If you buy the thing and you don't use it, and it's impossible to use it and not see some scarring on it. This one is evidence that it takes a licking, if you will. It's took it over the years, and it still works. You buy a shotgun to use for your own personal safety, whether it be used for hunting, whether it's used for self-defense. It doesn't matter. It's still going to get scarred. Now, there's lots of people that have issues with just about any type of gun, and of course, many of them do have issues. But a gun that's being used as heavily as this one has, as you can see, I'm going to tell you there's not a lot of issues with it. Otherwise, it would be laying in a corner somewhere and would be polished and look like brand new. This one has stood and took all of the scars and the mars and the scratches and the blemishes, and it's still working. It is still working. And you're going to see how it performs. There's a lot of these out there. Many of them are very, very old, and some of them even go back to the late 60s. I don't know what year this one was manufactured. I really don't. I just know that it's been used over the years, and I could imagine just how many squirrels, how many rabbits, maybe how many quail, etc., or even turkey has been taken with this gun. It can be used for either one of those targets, and it has proven itself. This thing, I have shot it, and I know how accurate it is. It's a beautiful, accurate gun. I'm going to tell you, older, for the most part, is better. You don't believe me? Well, take a look at this gun right here, and you'll see that it stood the test and it's done the job. Or obviously, if it had not have done the job, it would have been laying in a scrap pile somewhere, or somebody would have thrown it in the closet and never pick it up. A gun that works is the one you use. It's your favorite. It's your favorite. And I like this old gun. I really like this old gun. Now it holds 2 in the magazine, which of course right here, it's front eject and bottom load, 2 in the magazine, 1 in barrel. So listen, I give this old gun 5 stars. It's been around a while and it deserves every one of them. 5 stars is what I give this beautiful gun. And I'm going to let you see the evidence of what it does. So listen, you hang around. All right, we are ready to shoot this old gun, folks. So let me get all of my gear on. Well, let me do this first. Let me put one here in the chamber. All right, that's an old Federal. It's 2 in the magazine, of course, and 1 in the barrel. Now I'm going to sit down and rest off of this old table. And the sun's in my eyes, so I'm going to use these. And these. And this. And for those of you that don't know what that is, that's actually just a piece of styrofoam. Of course, many of you may or may not know that I had a car crash. And of course, I've got neck injury and shoulder injury. So I'm using that just a little bit, a safety device, if you will. So let's focus on that target out there and let's do it, okay? Here we are. Now, let's see. Right here on the right. Oh, let's put this safety on. All right. Now, let me grab this camera and let me say to you, this gun was made in America, and I'm telling you, it's hard to beat. If you're looking for an older shotgun that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, check one of these out. I don't believe you'll be disappointed. No, 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 no. You just saw what it did to those targets, and I'm going to tell you, this thing is worth its money. It's worth every penny of what you pay for it. So listen, check it out. If you like my videos, if you by chance are a great American patriot, you're a gun owner, you're somebody that loves guns in general, and let me tell you, you like what I stand for and you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. Just hit that subscribe button and I would appreciate it. God bless you, and you have a blessed day.